A gorgeous night for some ACC men's soccer. We are in Winston-Salem this evening at Spry Stadium for the meeting of Wake Forest, number 2 in the nation, hosting third-ranked Clemson. A second meeting for these two giants within the college game this season, and it promises to be quite the matchup. Welcome in, folks, to our studio. My name is Kevin Egan. Thrilled to be alongside the one and only Manny Garcia. And as I mentioned, this is quite the tactical matchup this evening.
This will be a very exciting game because on one side we have Wake Forest, who try to dictate the game with possession and then trying to find their wingers who are very skillful around the box. Then we have Clemson, who's a high-pressing team who try to create turnovers around the box and try to score right away.
Love it. One of those players starring for Wake Forest is a senior this evening, and he can score from distance too. Machop Chol is quite the player, Manny.
Machop Chol is one of the best players in college soccer. He can take you off the dribble, 1v1. If he goes inside, he's going to look for the shot. He can combine with teammates, and if he goes to the right, he's going to try to cross the ball and get the players involved.
I mentioned it's a second meeting this season. Earlier on, when I say earlier, I mean 2 weeks ago, this was the scene late on as Barber gets it, feeds Smith, a splendid goal, brilliant delivery. Kamani Smith doesn't miss from there. And then, wearing number 10, that is a quality finish. Fernandez Salvador can celebrate in style late on as Clemson win by 2-1. We want some similar scenes to this one. Some quality action coming your way, and this guy is sure going to be the star, especially with no Smith in the starting 11.
Yeah, Grayson Barber is a player that brings high energy, a lot of passion, but he's not just that. He's going to bring a lot of quality, and you can see it with the 2 goals and 3 assists in the last 5 games.
It's been a crazy season, broken up by COVID-19, of course, but we are so grateful and thankful to have 2 of the best in the nation on our air this evening. We are in for an absolute cracker of a game from North Carolina. It's 3 taking on 2 in the nation, Clemson, Wake Forest, and it's next.
It's bow time.
No. Out of gas on game day? Drop a big bow box on it. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea.
We are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina this evening for a massive ACC men's soccer clash between Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, taking on the Clemson Tigers. 2 versus 3 in the nation. Manny Garcia, we're in for it this evening. Quite the game.
This is the best of the best. It doesn't get better than this. I'm excited to watch these 2 teams go at each other tonight, and I'm excited to do it with you.
2 of the best coaches in the game as well. Bobby Muse of Wake Forest and Mike Noonan already met this season. It went in favor of Clemson. A look at the experienced manager that is Mike Noonan. A real pleasure to chat with Noonan, and this, his starting 11 today. Very experienced side in certain areas, especially when you lean on a guy like George Marks in goal, and then further forward, no Smith, which is key today for them, a guy that can score a lot of their goals. And he will be replaced, no question, by Grayson Barber in terms of looking to get on the end of things. James Brighton, also a very talented player. And then you see Bobby Muse, a relaxed-looking Bobby Muse today, and his starting 11 led by Kyle Holcomb further forward. 4 goals this season. We are off and running, folks, from Spry Stadium. Wake Forest hosting Clemson. 2 versus 3 in the nation here on Fox Sports South. Delighted to have you with us. Kevin Egan alongside Manny Garcia. And as you mentioned, Manny, a clash of styles in certain ways. You'll have Wake Forest on the ball right now, looking to dictate the tempo of the game, control the ball, but they don't want to turn it over in costly areas, because that's where Clemson can thrive.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see Clemson trying to high press, trying to score right away. They just had a game on Tuesday, so they are probably going to sit back a little bit and try to take advantage when they can.
Clemson possessing early at the back. Also a surprise today. Well, we mentioned Kamani Smith not playing, as this ball will trickle all the way through. And George Marks can collect. Also, Philip Mayaka not in the starting 11 today for Clemson. One of the players, I think, that when you talk about college soccer and top prospects, certainly Philip Mayaka is right up there.
Yeah, in talking to Coach Noonan yesterday, he was telling us how he has the highest ceiling of anyone right now in college soccer. He can see him playing in Europe. He can see him playing in the MLS. So I'm excited to watch them. Probably we will get to see them play at some point today.
So Smith, Mayaka, set to come in. Firepower on the bench for Clemson. With the players on the field right now, plenty of talent throughout. A look at the keys to the game, Manny Garcia. And let's start with Clemson.
Yeah, I believe that Clemson has to be smart when to press, the right moments of when to press, when to go. They don't want to get stretched out. And also, I think they have to control the midfield. In the last game, when they controlled the midfield in the first half, they were super dangerous and very, very successful. So I look forward to them doing that again.
Charlie Asensio. The pass cut out by Escribano. Scrapping and winning the ball back centrally and brought to ground. Free kick goes in favor of Clemson. And now a chance to get your keys to the game for Wake Forest.
Kevin, thank you. I think that Wake Forest must look to control the tempo of the match. They need to limit the turnovers in the middle third. They don't want this game to come to be a wide open game. Also, I think they have to win the box. They have allowed a couple goals this season inside the box. I think that they gotta put in a good performance in the defensive box in order to win this game.
Sun in the eyes of Bobby Muse. Such a joy it really is to catch up with these coaches in the build-up to the games. They're all so thrilled to be back in action. And speaking, Manny, about the challenges of playing soccer in now this modern-day world in COVID-19. Opportunity for Clemson to shoot from distance. Rasping effort, little daisy cutter that goes just wide, but a good start.
This is what we're talking about. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Wake Forest cannot do turnovers in that area of the field. As you can see, Grayson Barber already have a good opportunity at goal. And if Clemson keep pressing there and Wake Forest do some other turnovers, it's going to cost them.
Grayson Barber flirting from distance already. Scored in his last 2 games. Second team All-ACC last season. And he likes to get shots off. He leads the team this season in shots taken. That is 21st of the campaign. Barber chases. Wake Forest play it out. Tubbs alongside Ben Alcazar at the back for Wake Forest. A freshman and a sophomore. Pitch in immaculate condition. Beautiful conditions all around for this game. The first of a double-header this evening. Virginia-Syracuse to come. Lofted into space. Mopped up. Out of play it goes. Oscar Agren really has been sensational this season. Leading at the back, the man from Malmö in Sweden. He's the current ACC Defensive Player of the Week. Started every game at centre-back, plus all 22 last year. And you know, Manny, you consume so much of this in college soccer. When you have that rock, that leader at the back, it's so important.
I think he's the leader on the back. When he's playing well, Clemson will do well. He's in charge of the box. He's in charge of everything of the leader on the back. And when he's doing well, Clemson is doing well.
It's funny you say that because speaking with Bobby Moose, he spoke about Machop Chol in that same regard. The senior on senior night saying when he goes, we go. Machop has been excellent in his career so far.
I think Machop is probably one of the top 3 players in the country right now. And hopefully we see a matchup that is going to do very well today.
And there he is on the ball, laying it off beautifully. Holland Rula.
Kevin, speaking about matchup, I think one of the reasons he's the top player is because he has the ability to take players off the dribble. He can go inside and shoot. He can go outside and also get players involved. And he's also very athletic, has ability with the ball on the feet, and I think he has a pro career ahead of him.
The excellent opinions this evening of Manny Garcia alongside me, Kevin Egan. Thrilled to have you with us on Fox Sports South. One to chase down the right-hand side and kept in play brilliantly. And in the end, Oscar Agarin just taking no chances whatsoever. Corner kick, Wake Forest. There is the man you were speaking of, Machop Chol.
That's going to be a fun matchup tonight. Charlie Asensio and Machop Chol. They were teammates at Atlanta United Academy. I think...
Oh, play away we go.
The 2 sixes for Wake Forest are going to have to be very good today in order to get this team going.
Nice ball. Up to the feet. Kyle Holcomb. Driving forward. And the end. Cleared out of play, but straight to Holland Rula, the junior from Birmingham, Alabama. Ben Alcazar across to Tubbs. It's brilliant to see. You see Bobby Muse and his team, they possess the ball so confidently. And when you play a sophomore and a freshman at the back together, clearly the coach has so much confidence. And he sees the ability of these two players to marshal the back line together and play out from the back.
Yeah, you have to trust your players, right? And if you trust your freshman and sophomore center backs to dictate the tempo of the game, you're gonna be successful.
Clemson's turn to play out of the back. George Marks. Justin Malou. The big switch is a poor one. Falls straight to Machop Chol. Can Wake Forest take advantage? Excellent ball over the top. Really good opportunity and a wonderful delivery. And that is the best work chance of the game so far. Exquisite ball. And Calvin Harris delivered a dime. Couldn't be put away.
Turnovers again. I think that Clemson has to control the midfield in order to be successful in this game. They do a poor giveaway. Clear chance. He went for the pass.
The outswinger. Good delivery. Again, the rock at the back. Oscar Agarin. He cleared that cross from Calvin Harris. Now he gets his head on the corner. Jake Swallen, he's been everywhere so far in the early going.
There's a center back right there.
It was.
This is dangerous times here.
Clemson committing numbers forward. Barber looks to try and get on the end of it. When these two sides met last season, it was an absolute classic. A brilliant game from start to finish. Wake Forest trailing by 2-1, coming back and winning 3-2 in overtime. It was Clemson that got the better of the meeting just a couple of weeks ago. Fernandez Salvador in the dying moments of the game, finishing in style. Who can take this final meeting between these two sides this season before the tournament? And this the final match for Clemson before the ACC tournament, and they'll want to end strong. When you speak to these coaches, Manny, they just genuinely, that's the first thing they say. They're all so humble when it comes to playing the game. And they say, look, it's something we're just so happy to be back doing. And it doesn't matter if it's a 10-hour road trip. We'll get back to this in a moment as Calvin Harris races away. So much pace. Harris takes it onto his right foot. Offloads. Crunching challenge, but it's still there for Wake Forest. And the referee, Mike Stutt today, brings it back for a free kick to the home side. Good decision, what do you think?
Just a little soft, I think. Soft call. Remember when we were talking to Bobby Muse yesterday, he was talking to us about the tempo, how last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, Clemson brought it from the get-go, and they felt like they had to match Clemson. But today he wanted to have a fast start to the game and for Wake Forest to set the tempo.
Omar Hernandez over it with his left foot. Also there is Jake Swallen. Strong breeze inside Spry Stadium. And they challenge George Marks.
Last week, Omar Hernandez had an absolute golazo from a free kick against Duke. I'm pretty sure that's why he went for that one there. A little too far.
Justin Malou, centre-back from Senegal, scored earlier on in the season from a set piece against UAB. It was a quick rebound, though. It wasn't your towering header. It was quick instincts from Malou. And while these sides both play such attractive soccer, it can often be a scramble in the box that can separate them come the end of the match.
It usually comes to the last minute as well. I think this is going to be a game that is going to go to the final whistle.
Nice turn from Isaiah Reed, just into traffic. Cleared away by Pannenberg. Robust tackle in through the back of Holcomb. Free kick, Wake Forest. Heavy touch, tenacious tackling back. Brilliant work there from Grayson Barber. And Clemson can't make it stick. Holland Rula flicked off by Calvin Harris and collected in the midfield. Callum Johnson is one of those unsung heroes of the team. Does everything so well, just ties things together in the midfield. The senior from New York, a transfer from Boston College. 8 goals and 10 assists during 3 seasons at BC.
I think he's going to be massive here today without Mayaka. He has the ability to play that final ball. We saw it last game. He played a beautiful ball in the second goal against UNC.
Nice ball forward, flicked on, and in the end, composed defending from Big Garrison Tubbs, 6'3", a man you know well from Atlanta United Academy.
Garrison Tubbs has a bright future ahead of him. I think that Wake Forest is a good place for him to develop, become better. And I think he's done fantastic here in the freshman year.
Calvin Harris cutting inside. Swallen.
Here's where you want matchups.
Machop Cho. Holland Rula. 46th appearance for Wake Forest today. Down the line, excellent ball to the feet. Clemson standing off a little as Kyle Holcomb collects. Back to Rula. Wants to go 1v1. Can he deliver? The answer is yes. Brilliant ball inside. Such a teasing delivery. Excellent fullback play. Spectacular cross there from Holland Rula. Just inviting. And in the end, Chop can't put it home.
That's a great ball by Holland Rula. Not only that, but great movement of the ball by the players to get the ball around the box. It was a beautiful tiki-taka play before they did the cross.
And the man we were praising, Callum Johnson, does just about enough to get in the way of Machop Chol. The corner kick comes in. It's deep, very deep indeed. Collected by Calvin Harris. I think I have to say Calvin Harris every time instead of just Harris. It sounds better.
No relation to the DJ.
Beautiful first-time touch. Coming inside is Omar Hernandez. Big switch to the feet of Machop Chol. Chol to the byline. Cuts back. Wonderful defending, it must be said, by Clemson as a unit, and in particular, Dylan Sullivan. Dylan Sullivan, 4 appearances this season before today. 3 appearances as a freshman in all of last season. This is a major opportunity. As you mentioned, with some key pieces not in the starting 11, you're looking at a guy like Dylan Sullivan to really produce.
Yeah, when you look at Noonan, he's putting a lot of trust on him, putting him in the midfield. I'm looking forward to do something special today.
A little kick out there. Referee says play away. Nico Benalcazar just letting him know he's there. Hernandez waves that left-footed wand of his out to the right-hand side. Escribano back to Tubbs. Hernandez again. He's been involved in a lot so far for Wake Forest. Little shimmy and a shake. Well played. All the way back it goes to George Marks. Late boot there from Holcomb. You see Wake Forest possess the ball so beautifully, and when they lose it, their counter press is tenacious.
Yes, so in talking to Bobby Muse, he said the same thing. Once they lose the ball, they want to make sure that they are pressing to get the ball back. They don't want to be like the game 2 weeks ago in Clemson where they lost and they couple turnovers and then they paid for it.
Booted clear by Tubbs. Johnson sprays it wide. Montana. Enrique Montana gets it back. The freshman, just his 4th appearance for Clemson.
I'm looking forward to Enrique having a good game. His first start is not easy. Playing at Wake Forest for your first start. You see here in terms of tactics, look at Clemson. They're not really pressing the defenders. I think they're trying to invite Wake Forest to play into the midfield, and now they're going to try to get that ball back.
Holland Rula. Holcomb. Standing strong though. It's Justin Malou. Piercing ball down the line is a good one. This has already been a great matchup to see. Holcomb up against Agri. Machop-Chol. Holcomb. Escribano. Really nice play from Wake Forest. Omar Hernandez just not on the same wavelength there. But there's that press once more. And Wake Forest winning it back, but could come at a cost. Big opportunity.
What a save.
And the home side nearly opening the scoring. That pressure they're putting on Clemson is causing problems for the visitors.
That was a great step by the right back.
Trying to thread the needle for the on-rushing Machop-Chol. And let's look back at that opportunity and how pressure turns into chances for Wake Forest.
Great press, great step by Garrison Tubbs. Play the ball quickly. And then Holcomb had a great chance. I think that's so important, like you were saying. They're setting the tempo, not only with the ball, but also they're pressing and making sure that Clemson feel their presence.
Kyle Holcomb, 4 goals from 5 shots on target. Manny Garcia, that's what you call productivity.
High efficiency. We have here an in-swinger. Look for this ball to be right on top of the goalkeeper.
Racing away, Barber. Grayson Barber waits to pick his pass. Excellent tracking back though. Benalcazar needed to get back. He was forward for the set piece. And the big centre-back did enough. Harris. Into a dangerous area. Harris collects once more. Suzuki. Escribano, oh, beautiful touch.
Charlie Asensio, great left back. His soccer IQ is very high. He makes up for the lack of athleticism. You can see every time he's a step ahead. It's not gonna be an easy matchup against Mashup, but I think that he's gonna do very well just because he's always thinking ahead, positioning his body in the right places. Another Atlanta United product.
It's a wonderful point from our analyst today, Manny Garcia. As you saw Asensio just read that play from a chop show to the opposite flank now. Calvin Harris. Suzuki. Holland Rula. Oh, what a delivery that is. Sensational cross once more. And the crossing has been on point from the junior, Holland Rula. He whips this in at such pace.
Yes, he has to. Look at Clemson. Clemson has 8 guys defending the box. I think that you can see Holcomb maybe do a different run or Macho coming from the back post. But Rula has been on point today with his delivery.
He had the assist in the 1-0 win against UNC this season and already really threatening. And as you rightly pointed out, at times, Clemson just putting a lot of bodies behind the back, but maybe leaving a bit of space out wide for a player like Holland Rula to attack that space and get a delivery in.
Maybe Clemson trying to save the legs after a tough matchup on Tuesday. They went to double overtime. What do you think, Kevin? You think they are trying to set the game for the second half and trying to get to a second half 0-0?
All I know is Mike Noonan's a smart man. He knows how to play his hand. And certainly when you've got talents like they have, Camarney Smith on the bench today, 4 goals, 2 assists this season. And also the man everybody's been talking about. There is a look at Mike Noonan, 11th season at the helm. Also on the bench, Philip Mayaka. Expect to see him involved too. Harris. As you can see, Mayaka into the game and Smith into the game as well. So a couple of changes there for Clemson. Ambitious pass, looking for the run of Holcomb. This the regular season finale for Clemson as the ball is pushed wide to the left-hand side. Under serious pressure. Somehow keeping possession of the ball. Machop Shoal conceding the free kick. And there is Charlie Asensio.
Yeah, Charlie Asensio going up. That's a soft foul. I don't think this is a foul. I mean, smart from Charlie, but I don't think that's a foul. What do you think, Kevin?
I respectfully disagree. Doesn't matter what I think, though. Referee today, Mike Studd, awarding the free kick. And Asensio, as you say, soccer IQ is there for all to see. The junior from Roswell, Georgia. He's never scored for Clemson.
I would say he's Mr. Consistent. He started the last, I believe, 40 games for Clemson. He's been the starter.
Now the Tigers possessing on the edge of the area. Kept in play. Asensio. Delivery Falls kindly for Barber.
Barber.
May get the strike in! Oh, what a save! Spectacular save from the goalkeeper. Andrew Pennenberg pulling it out as Grayson Barber inches away from the opening goal.
This is a great control by Barber. He gets the ball here, winning the box, right? You got to tackle. You got to win that ball. If not, Grayson Barber, really dangerous player from Clemson. And what a save by Pannenberg.
And maybe a dangerous tug of the jersey there from Nico Benalcazar as Grayson Barber turned him brilliantly. And a phenomenal save from Pannenberg. Corner kick Clemson. Flicked on by Barber. Hacking the ball clear. Anywhere will do. Time to organise as Philip Mayaka collects. This first half flying by so far at Spry Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Mayaka. Touched on. Well played there from Justin Malou, just bodying Holcomb off the ball. Mayaka keeps possession.
As you can see, since Mayaka have come on to the field, Clemson trying to control the pace and the tempo of the ball a little more. He makes a difference on this team. He's confident on the ball. He's going to make some tackles. He's going to win it back for you. And he's going to push the team forward.
He does it all. The man from Nairobi, Kenya, ACC Freshman of the Year in 2019, 2 match winners as well. Mike Noonan saying he has the potential to play at the very highest level. Nobody knew who he was last year, and now he's the first player everyone tries to stop. Ball is a good one again inside. And Clemson just easing their way into this game. James Brighton not too far away.
Just looking a lot more confident with Mayaka on the field, and I also think with you when you bring in Smith, you also have pull your outside backs. If you're Wake Forest, you have to pay attention to another talented player. So now you bring 2 of the best players in the conference from the bench, and all of a sudden it's a different game.
Harris to the feet of Holcomb, gets it back, beautiful 1-2. Escribano for Tubbs. Omar Hernandez wearing 17, such an intelligent player, always creating the angle, always offering support and an outlet.
I like how he's dropping, becoming there in between the center backs, really wanting the ball, distributing to the outside midfielders, outside backs.
Callum Johnson. Agron. Well kept. Marnie Smith to Mayaka, the 2 new men into the game. You have to imagine for a player like Philip Mayaka, you have such an impactful first season. And as Coach Mike Noonan says, all of a sudden it's a different ball game as teams try and stop you and they put 2 and 3 different guys on you. Here he is on the ball, Philip Mayaka. So the pitch and things in front of him may be looking a little different this season.
He's a very talented player, and last year he was unbelievable for Clemson.
Grayson Barber and his quick feet look to have won the ball, and Manny Garcia to my right, not happy with that referee's decision.
This is 2 of the best soccer programs in the nation.
Let him play.
I just think it's a soft goal. I mean, this is the highest level, the highest amateur level in the country. I think you let them play. Look at Clemson trying to press a little bit higher now. They're picking and choosing their moments, isn't it?
Harris. Hernandez back for Harris. Savvy play, cut out though. Mayaka to the feet, just turned over. And out steps big Garrison Tubbs, excuse me.
Savvy play by Tubbs there. He felt the contact, he went down. Let's regroup.
What's his ceiling?
I think he has the potential to make it to the MLS. I think he's a player that needed college, but he's very confident on the ball. He can be your playmaker from the back, and he's gonna get better physically, mentally at Wake Forest, and I can't wait to see what he becomes.
Hernandez, low delivery is a good one. Excellent positioning though by George Marks as he collects with ease. Kyle Holcomb sensing an opportunity, and it was well worked, wasn't it, between Omar Hernandez and Calvin Harris on the left-hand side.
When they combine, they're very, very dangerous.
Garrison Tubbs, you were speaking about the central defender from Wake Forest. 6'3", a freshman, started at centre-back in the previous meeting a couple of weeks ago between these sides. He's had some training experience overseas as well with Aberdeen. He's done an awful lot for a young man.
Oh, he's a fantastic player, and he's even a better person. He's a great guy. I was talking to him the other week, and he was telling me how Wake Forest is helping him a lot with everything, even doing classes and time management and getting better off the field, the little things, how everything counts. Then he's going to be a player with a bright future.
Nice ball down the line. Grayson Barber. Blocked away by Ben Alcazar. Philip Mayaka. Smith. Let's rip from distance. Nowhere close.
Speaking about, Garrison Tubbs, there is a couple freshmen for Wake Forest, and a couple freshmen for Clemson playing. It's very tough to play as a freshman in a strong conference like the ACC.
So Swallen and Ben Alcazar making their way off. And let's see who's come into the game. Change for Clemson as well. Quinn McNeil, junior from Greensville, South Carolina. Smith played back. Asensio. So Callum Johnson out, McNeil in. Fernandez Salvador. Oh, beautiful nutmeg. Ole. Decent delivery. Cut out at the near post. A peach of a meg from Fernandez Salvador. Hard-working, as always, industrious. Machop Chol keeping possession, but Clemson get it back now. Asensio. Oscar Agrin. And now Philip Mayaka. Lovely turn.
I think Felipe Fernandez can be a wonderful player. The first year he only played about 6 games. Now he's playing a lot better. Look at this. Ole, mi amigo.
You love to see it. Luis Felipe Fernandez Salvador. that nutmeg deserves the full name. From Guayaquil, Ecuador, a junior for Clemson. Scored the match-winning goal against Wake Forest on October 13th. And Mike Noonan, when asked about him, saying he can certainly be a top player. He's coming off a long way.
Yeah, there's credit to the coaching staff as well. He barely played his freshman year. Last year, he made an impact mostly from the bench, and now he starts every game.
Excellent move from Clemson, working the ball wide now. Getting the strike away. Takes a little bit of a deflection and collected by Andrew Pannenberg, red-shirted junior. He's played over 200 minutes. That was last season with 9 clean sheets.
This is a completely different game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since Mayaka and Kimani Smith got to the game.
Always working hard is the classy Machop Chol.
Well done, Mayaka there.
The hands raised inside the broadcast booth once more by Manny Garcia.
They gotta let them play. This is not a foul.
Ruler. Space for Holland Ruler. We've seen him deliver some beauty so far. Wants to go 1v1, skips around, and you can understand Holland Ruler's frustration there. Picking the ball up in plenty of spaces, Grayson Barber. Assessing his options, finding Asensio. Just not on the same wavelength there at all as Kimani Smith.
I think we can see that Clemson, every time they try to, every time they win it back, they try to go forward, they try to attack. I think they sense there is a weakness in Wake Forest in their maybe defensive transitions. And I think Clemson can take advantage of it, especially with players like Kimani Smith, James Brighton, and Grayson Barber.
So it looks like Chris Matlashewski has come on, wearing 19 for Clemson.
Great ball by the left center back.
Also Wake Forest with a substitution as well. Delane Forbes into the game. We play away. The home side with a big-time opportunity now. Really good reading of the game, though, from the always present Oscar Agron. A great match for some freshmen to get experience in, like Delane Forbes, experience with Orlando City B and USL as well. You have to remember the schedule this season, so compressed. These players balancing so much, whether it be education, travel, and now games as well. Certainly when you speak to the coaches, as I've mentioned, there's no excuses at all from them. They're happy to do it, but it is a grueling stretch right now.
It's not easy, and when you see a lot of these young guys usually had a preseason in the summer or they had the spring, they didn't have that this year.
Opportunity, Wake Forest down the left-hand side, brilliant ball in, and it's there! We've got the opening goal of the game. A fortuitous bounce perhaps, but it's in the back of the net, and it's Wake Forest that strike first. And it's the centre-back, Nico Benalcazar, with his first goal.
He was great going forward. And then he got the finish. Look at this. The center back dribble forward. No midfield pressure. And he gets in the box and finish.
Nico Benalcazar in nosebleed territory. With 5 minutes to play in the first half, the sophomore from Connecticut has struck first. An inaugural member of the NYCFC Academy, a classy ball player from the back, decides to tear forward, and he takes full advantage.
I mean, look at this. No pressure from the midfields to him.
And he drifts into that space completely unmarked.
The two center backs go to the front post. He's left unmarked.
Not a bad way to open your account for the Demon Deacons. How will this game change tactically now that Clemson have to chase the match? Will it change at all?
I think that Clemson is going to be smart. They're going to continue to choose on when to press, when is the right times. You might see a difference towards the end of the match. I think they're okay with this right now. They will go for it as the game goes on. It's interesting because Clemson was just starting to dominate the game. I felt like Wake Forest was in total control the first 20-25 minutes, and it felt like Clemson was getting into the groove of the game since Mayaka and Smith got into the game, and then center back score on the run of play. You never want to see that if you're Clemson.
It was a brave run from the man that just passed the ball there, Nico Benalcazar. Wake Forest go in search of a second. Colin Thomas in the game now as well, on the left-hand side of the defence. Here he is, the freshman from Canton, Georgia, for his 4th appearance.
You love to see two center backs that are brave, going forward, dribble, distribute the ball, don't you?
Absolutely. Clemson used to scoring first, 101, 8 and 7 when they score first in matches. So it was a rare occasion. Last time out, they were 2-0 up against UNC and drew 3-3. And then to add to that, Clemson 2-1 up against Wake Forest last season with 5 minutes to go and lost 3-2 in overtime. The trend reversed this time. It's Wake Forest that strike first. Can Clemson respond? Omar Hernandez winning a corner kick. 2.5 minutes to play here at Sprite Stadium in the first 45. It will be Omar Hernandez to take. A goal and 2 assists this season for the sophomore.
See a little zone and man marking here.
Plays short. Hernandez. Comfortably collected and well played, and off goes Kamarni Smith. Pushing it forward for Barber. Oh, excellent play if Clemson can keep it. And really well done, Colin Thomas. Playing back to his goalkeeper, Andrew Pannenberg. Smith, Fernandez Salvador. Down the line, one to chase, brought to ground, free kick Clemson with 1 minute to play. A set piece in a very dangerous area. Matt Leszewski going down. An obvious one this time, no complaints from Manny Garcia next to me.
No, that's a clear foul, but what I really liked before that was Felipe Fernandez turned He had a lot of pressure. He was able to keep the ball, play the ball forward, and then he created a foul. Very dangerous right now with 30 seconds to play in the first half.
Fernandez Salvador over the ball. Plenty of bodies forward for Clemson in search of an equalizer. Headed clear, 20 seconds left. Sublime first touch, and not a bad second as well. Fernandez Salvador, a little lollipop or two, goes to the end line, and they get a corner kick. There's only 10 seconds to play. Can he whip it in? Last chance of the first half. Wonderful delivery. But there goes the end of the first 45 minutes at Sprite Stadium. There is the goal scorer, Nico Benalcazar. The last play of the game. And up goes Wake Forest to make sure Enrique Montana doing his part. And a quick look at the coaching board for Mike Noonan. He's got a lot to ponder. A big 45 minutes to come from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's been a spectacular first 45 minutes. Chances galore at either end. This was Holcomb. And then Pannenberg with a remarkable save. The opening goal, though, came from a central defender. We'll break it all down next.
Do you have a...
We, the Atlantic Coast Conference, believe that Black Lives Matter.
We in the ACC know there needs to be change.
Racism and social injustice
have no place on our campuses.
Have no place in the ACC.
We will not be silent.
Change starts with us. Change starts with you. Together.
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 Together we can learn,
Lead.
and be a part of the solution.
We believe
that Black Lives Matter.
You're very welcome back, folks. A wonderful match here. We're at the half between third-ranked Clemson Tigers up against number 2 in the nation, Wake Forest. And it is the home side that lead thanks to Nico Benalcazar from close range, the central defender. Don't go anywhere after this game. Coming up, we have got Syracuse on the road in Charlottesville, Virginia, to take on George Gelnovich and the Virginia Cavaliers. This one promises to be an absolute cracker of a game. Two very experienced coaches trying to end the regular season on a high before the tournament. This was the opening goal, the only goal of the game so far, whipped in, and the central defender of all players put it home. Nico, good for you.
Don't let the...
Isn't that a beautiful scene? We're here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Sprite Stadium. Spectacular setting on a gorgeous night for ACC men's soccer. Clemson Tigers on the road, looking to respond in the second half. 1 goal down as of right now. Kevin Egan alongside Manny Garcia. Manny, is this how you felt the game would play out?
No, not at all. I thought that Clemson might come up and be flying around. They sat back a little bit. They tried to force the ball into the Wake Forest midfield and then pressing there. They're picking and choosing their moments, which is, I believe, very smart from them since they had that game on Tuesday. Also, it felt like it was 2 halves in 1 half.
Yeah, it certainly did. This chance for Barber and a phenomenal save from Andrew Pannenberg, the goalkeeper, making use of his 6'3" frame.
I think that Barber did fantastic to keep the ball, and even better with the goalkeeper. Look at this beautiful run by the left center back. That's a modern center back.
Yeah. Sergio Ramos-esque, making his way into the box and then finishing off his thigh. Fair play to you. Nico Benalcazar, first goal for Wake Forest from close range. Just bundles this one home past George Marks in goal. Wake Forest leading by a 1-0. He looks a little stunned, but also delighted. And as you say, you have to be brave to take those chances going forward. And that's exactly what Nico Benalcazar did. A look at the numbers at the break. Shots in favour of Clemson, although their shots from a little bit further out than Wake Forest from what we've seen so far. Shots on goal, Clemson edging that one so slightly as well.
Yeah, I think that Clemson has to put one back. Also think that in the fouls, if you see Wake Forest has committed 8 fouls, which usually they're the team that are the foul the most. So Bobby Muse told us yesterday that they wanted to dictate the game. They wanted to come out hot, and I think they've done it in this first half.
It's the 50th meeting between Wake Forest and Clemson in ACC men's soccer. We've got a big second half to come. How will Mike Noonan's men respond? You'll find out when we return.
When you pay
Welcome back to our coverage of ACC men's soccer. We're at the break between Wake Forest and Clemson. It is the home side, the Demon Deacons, that lead by a goal to nil, thanks to Nico Benalcazar, the sophomore. Now, how about the seniors? Here on senior night, we've seen the silky skills of Machop Chol. We also need to say congrats to Michael DeShields, Justin McMaster, 2 injured players this evening, Kyle McCurley and Terrell Moore as well. Ranked number 1 20 times throughout their time with Wake Forest. Huge congrats on a memorable night for you guys. Nearly set to go for the second half. Before we do so, we should give a mention, of course, to former Clemson head coach, recently passed away. That was Trevor Adair. As you see the Clemson players getting together, Adair led the program for 14 seasons from 1995 to 2008, the second winningest coach in the program's history. So our love and support to the Adair family at this time. Fired up inside the huddle. The Clemson Tigers looking to respond. What do you feel was said by Mike Noonan at halftime to his team?
I think he said to them, let's be smart, boys. It's still only 1-0. We still have time to get the game back. I think they're going to press a little more up front. They're going to do a little more high pressing, and they're going to try to create turnovers in the midfield and create that transition moments that are going to be great for James Bryden and Grayson Barber and Smith. I think that Clemson's still in this game, and I think that with Mayaka and Smith on the game, they have a better chance at winning.
Mike Noonan making his way across the field, rocking a pair of orange socks as well. That's dedication. Committed to the cause, Mr. Noonan.
You need to see him. He's full Go Tigers, full orange. He's a great guy.
He certainly is.
I wonder what happened to his arm. I think he was trying to play with the guys. He thinks that he's still young.
A man you know very well, a guy you enjoy chatting about the beautiful game with.
Yeah, I spent about 3 years on the other side of the building from him when I worked with Clemson women's soccer team. So he was great, always great to me. Phil Jones, assistant, and Camilo Rodriguez, also a very good friend of mine.
And you were coaching over at Clemson as well, right?
I was the director of operations for the women's team.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. All set to go then. The new ball has been kicked for the second half. Away we go. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina. If you're just joining us, it is the home side, Wake Forest, that lead by a goal to nil. Late on in that first half, the central defender, the sophomore from Connecticut, Nico Benalcazar, from close range, hitting it home with his thigh. Not, as I'm sure he imagined, his first goal. But he puts it home nonetheless, and they go in search of the second goal. Harris blazing over.
He scored a similar goal from there the other night against Duke University.
Only that time it hit the underside of the bar.
That was an absolute
and
golazo.
Nestled in. Golazo indeed. You're right though, a very similar angle as Calvin Harris takes it onto his trusty right boot and looks to bend it. Mayaka under duress. Shifts it wide. So to start the game, Philip Mayaka, Kamari Smith started from the bench. To start the second half, Clemson in search of an equalizer. Mike Noonan puts them straight in.
I think you have to. This is the last game before the ACC conference tournament. I think you go for a result. If you can get a 1-1 result on the road, if you can get all 3 points, you go home happy.
You're right. So after this, Clemson shift their focus to the tournament. The tournament set to begin on November 15th and will run through to November 22nd. The first 2 rounds of the tournament will be played across the ACC's 4 North Carolina schools, with the championship match to be played on November 22nd in Cary, North Carolina, at WakeMed Soccer Park. Seeding and the match locations, kickoff times will be determined following the end of this regular season. A tournament that I simply cannot wait to check out.
it is always a must-watch event.
The best in the country for you?
I think the ACC is the best conference in the country by far.
By far, says Manny Garcia. Another teasing delivery, away by the goal scorer, Ben Alcazar. And certainly within the ACC, you look at the South, in comparison to the North, the South looking strong, isn't it, right now?
It's very strong. You think Clemson had to play...
Beautiful from Mayaka, absolutely brilliant from the central midfield player, just cutting Wake Forest apart, and now he tries to win it back off Machop Chol. There to help out Oscar Agron, down the line now. Smith, tasty delivery from Smith, and it's a corner kick to Clemson. Noonan's men starting strong.
Think about the schedule that Clemson, Duke, UNC, Wake Forest, NC State, they're all playing against each other 3 times in 7 days.
And Mike Noonan spoke about that when we had a chance to chat with him, and he's spoken about this schedule and the congested schedule at that, and he said if we're going to win the ACC championship in a few weeks, we're going to have to play 3 games in 7 days, so this is a good rehearsal.
Yes, he did. He's always such a positive coach. He always tried to see the positive things in what's going on, in the negative and everything, so not surprised to hear what he said at all. Oh, good play by the midfielder here.
Omar Hernandez. Gets it back. Forbes. Tubbs. Ben Alcazar. Clemson take it back. Looking for the run of Barber. Now Calvin Harris going to ground. Enrique Montana concedes the free kick. Montana starting today, wins the ball, and on the second attempt drags down Calvin Harris.
Tricky player, tricky player.
It was a special goal from Calvin Harris against Duke in the last game. He's a sophomore from Middlesbrough in England. 6 goals and 3 assists as a freshman last season. He was born in England, lived in Hong Kong, lived in New Zealand, now here. His father, Terry, played for Sheffield United in the Premier League.
What a journey.
Several chapters to his life so far. Here he is, Harris. Gets it back. Beautiful move from Wake Forest. Calvin Harris tearing forward. Is there enough on the pass? Just about. And look who's back to help out his defense. Philip Mayaka. Doesn't even need the goalkeeper. Barber. Inviting Fernandez Salvador forward. Throw to Wake Forest.
Look at this recovery from Philip Mayaka. He started back in midfield, tracking this. And look at the composure. That's beautiful from Philip Mayaka.
Joe.
Kevin, I think here Mashab looked too far from his comfort zone. I think Wake Forest have to find him around the box more in order for them to be a little more dangerous.
There is Machop Chol putting pressure on George Marks, who turns it over. Suzuki can't find Chol. He heads it back, but it falls straight for James Bright. Must be said, Mohamed Said is a loss this evening for Clemson. Suspended for this game. Sent off in their last match. A player that certainly would be extremely useful, talented up front, just to give an option for Mike Noonan.
Yeah, he plays in a lot of games. He comes and gives James Bryden a breather, especially on the second half. James will play about 15 minutes, then Said will come in, and then James Bryden will go back in to close the game. I think that extremely important in college soccer to have a deep bench.
Yeah. Injured the right back.
Great defensive.
Strong defending. Powerful from Agron, but he turns it over. And Wake Forest have a free kick with Chol going to ground. Born in Sudan, Machop Chol, the senior, had that great strike against Clemson. And it was from distance, but you're right to point out the areas that he was picking up a moment ago. And this is a player that when he gets the ball closer to goal, he's lethal.
Yeah, when he's around the box, he attracts one or two defenders. So then he opens spaces for the other players in the box.
Once more over the set piece is Jake Swallen and Omar Hernandez. Just waiting for Calvin Harris to get back in an onside position. And he touches it for Hernandez to strike. Well blocked away. Callum Johnson putting the pressure on. Clemson pressing high. Evading the pressure though is Wake Forest and Calvin Harris. But Mayaka back helping win the ball back. Forbes puts it back in. Holcomb. Malou. Marnie Smith. Lofts one. Straight to the chest of Barber. Grayson Barber scoring in his last 2 games, combining with James Bright. Mayaka for Johnson. Out wide now. Asensio. Beautiful flick, and Marnie Smith just got all turned around, didn't he?
He seems tired to me. He seems like he has some heavy legs under him. I think Clemson has to get the midfield and the attacking third a little more compact. It feels that there is a big space in between those 2 lines. I think there is 2 more goals in this game.
Mystic Manny. That's what we're going to call you. Predicting 2 more goals. 35 minutes to go.
I think there is going to be 2 goals because he's getting a little more open up. And as Clemson go for the game, there is going to be plenty of space. We're going to have Charlie Asensio forward.
Asensio. Smith cuts inside beautifully. Smith with a great opportunity and curls it just over the bar. Spectacular move from Clemson, and he's got to do better.
He has to do better. You're absolutely right. But look, that ball comes from Felipe Fernandez to Charlie Asensio. The good cutback, and he has to finish that. He has to finish that.
Incredible cutback, though, from Marnie Smith to carve out the opportunity. There's not many players in the college game that can pull off a move like that at such pace. He completely turns Garrison Tubbs, but then curls this one just over the crossbar.
He's not only an athletic player, but he also has some salsa to his game.
I like that, some salsa to his game. I'm going to use that. Fernandez Salvador takes it off. Mayaka tries to thread the needle, comes wide now.
See, Clemson is going to start to charge forward now. Well done by Malou.
Johnson. Fernandez Salvador pushes it wide. A real aggressive press now to Clemson's game. The urgency is there from Mike Noonan's team.
What I like about the Clemson team is that they're not only a high-pressing team, high energy, they also have some quality. They also have some ability. You can see a guy like Felipe Fernandez Salvador. He got some flavor to his game. And I think he's a player that is different, that can create a goal out of nothing. If he can find Kimarni Smith, and he can find James Bryden and Grayson Barber around the box, I think they have a chance in this game.
Joel nearly turns it over, collected though and kept. Spread wide by Ben Alcazar. Forbes.
Well done by Suzuki there to keep possession of the ball.
Savvy player is Takuma Suzuki.
Okay, we were talking yesterday to Bobby Muse about how many players didn't start more than 4 games last year, and they are integral part of this team. And he was telling us that it's just the way they recruit. They try to be competitive from spot 1 to 28. They play behind good players, and when it's time for them to shine, they go and do it.
Montana. Easy one for Ben Alcazar. Now back to the goal scorer. And look at Wake in those positions, their ability to play out, their confidence to play out. It's a huge credit to Bobby Muse.
I think the 2 6s are moving very well.
Only one senior in the starting 11 for Bobby Muse today.
They're gonna be very good for
Look
years
at the
to come.
fullback, Christian Escribano, venturing forward. Gets it back. He sprays it out wide for Machop Chol. Escribano, a freshman. Wonderful career ahead of him, born in Madrid. Started now 6 of 7 games for Bobby Muse.
Hernandez has been everywhere today, huh?
It does feel like Omar Hernandez pulls the strings together alongside Suzuki for Wake Forest, as does Fernandez Salvador for Clemson. Suzuki, Forbes, Ben Alcazar, now Tubbs. Flank to flank they go, Wake Forest, creating these spaces, these pockets. That's exactly where Machop Chol picks it up. Calvin Harris. Inside. Nice ball to feet. Trying to work an opportunity, but really strong defending from Charlie Asensio. And there is that soccer IQ. A positional awareness from Asensio. And Fernandez Salvador takes the ball out with ease. Asensio.
Great ball in.
This is a joy to watch. 2 really well-coached, quality soccer teams. The very highest level here, folks, in the college soccer game. Clemson, Wake Forest. Finally poised match with just shy of a half an hour to play. More moves being made.
You have to think that Felipe Salvador will come back to the game with 15 minutes left or so. I think this is just a breather for him.
Quinn McNeil back in then, the junior. Corner kick Clemson. They fall kindly. Machop Chol clears it away. Philip Mayaka drifts this one to the right-hand side. Johnson. Nice ball to feet, but the anticipation was there from Garrison Tubbs. And now as Clemson, Manny Garcia, go after this game, those spaces may appear and those counter-attacking opportunities might be there for Wake Forest.
I think Clemson has to get the ball wide and start crossing the ball into the box. I think Wake Forest might struggle a little bit with clearing the ball. And I think that Clemson, if they get to the end of the line, to the end line, and they start crossing the ball inside.
Good delivery, teasing, up in the air it goes. And it nearly falls kindly for two Clemson players.
I think there's going to be chances for them there.
And right now, we may need to pause the game for a moment. As you could see, the new men, fresh back in the game. Quinn McNeil feeling the effects of this challenge with his own player. And there you see Smith and McNeil going down, and James Brighton as well. Thankfully all okay. This goalkeeper, Andrew Pannenberg, he played one game as a freshman in 2017, Manny. It happened to be in a double overtime win against Clemson. He had 3 big saves that day. Not a bad way to start your collegiate career for Wake Forest. Double overtime win against Clemson.
Another guy, when you talk about development, only played one time in his freshman year, and now he's a starter every game.
Suzuki. Oh, spectacular ball. Inviting the run from Chol. In on goal. Machop Chol. Can he get his strike away? It's there! Wake Forest have a 2-goal cushion. Sensational ball over the top from Suzuki. The run from Machop Chol and the finish on the end line. And it's the Demon Deacons that celebrate. The goal coming potentially on the line there from Calvin Harris.
So here you see Clemson is going forward, leaves some spaces back in their defense. Nacho takes it, beautiful. And the finish by Calvin Harris.
Calvin Harris scoring in back-to-back games, and it certainly is his goal. This ball may just have been drifting wide, maybe even hitting the post. But the Englishman, the man from the borough, scoring from close range.
What about the ball from Takuma Suzuki? It's a great ball with his left foot. But again, Clemson is going forward. Clemson is trying to press. You're going to leave some spaces behind you.
It's exactly what we touched on. No fault of Mike Noonan's team, just looking for that equalizer. But when you have that space in behind and you've got a player like Machop Chol, you've got to give him that space to run. And that's exactly what Takuma Suzuki did. A splendid delivery from Suzuki. And now Clemson have a lot of work to do, a mountain to climb here in North Carolina.
Brace yourself. I think it's going to be an exciting last 25 minutes. I think Clemson is going to go for it now.
They've got no choice. They have to as Quinn McNeil spins. Out wide it goes. Asensio. Johnson now. Enrique Montana. Mayaka. Turning the ball over to Colin Thomas. Suzuki. The game seems to slow down when Takuma Suzuki gets on the ball. Born in Japan before moving to the US as a young kid. From Peachtree City, Georgia.
You're absolutely right. I saw him playing with the Atlanta United Academy as well. Very talented player. Smooth on the ball. Patient. He's one of those players. He only started 4 games last year. This year he's 7 for 7.
Thomas. So Grayson Barber out of the game for now. Matt Leszewski back in. Christian Escribano. The goal scorer Harris. And this really is the perfect opportunity now for Bobby Muse, a side that possess the ball, that are comfortable within their own skin here, in possession, under pressure, keeping possession of the football. As I say that, Clemson look to pounce and win it back. That's exactly what they do. Quinn McNeil. Hermione Smith. McNeil. Montana. Brighton for Johnson. Suzuki takes it back.
Suzuki looking like a veteran out there today. If you see here, as you mentioned, Wake Forest getting very comfortable. You can see even the front three getting themselves into good pockets of space. You see Calvin Harris.
Here you see David Rona into the game of forward. 3 goals this season, had a brace in the 3-0 victory against UAB. He drew the foul.
Looking forward to continue seeing those players from Wake Forest in the front three, finding themselves in good pocket of space.
And if you're Bobby Muse right now, you're looking at this season saying, yes, it's been tough, it's been congested, but your team are playing some great stuff. A 2-0 lead right now against one of the best sides in the country. You've got the ACC tournament coming up, and he's got to be looking, maybe not beyond the tournament, but certainly at what's to come in the spring, saying we've got a big chance this year.
Yeah, as you can see, only one senior in the starting lineup. So you're developing not to win in the spring, you're developing for the future. And this is a great team. They have, as you can see, Wake Forest is number 2 right now. But Wake Forest also missing 2 of the best players in the roster, in the Shields and McMaster. The Shields, as Bobby Muse think,
yeah,
he thinks he's the best center back in the country.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He feels that Michael DeShields is that good. Justin McMaster, a tricky winger, out as well.
On the North region, you have to feel for Pitt. They haven't been number 1 in a long time. They have a great team, and they can't play for the next 2 weeks because of COVID.
It's not easy. Everyone's trying to navigate it as best they can. And speaking with these coaches, you know, we're talking with George Gelnovach and his Virginia Cavaliers up next, and he said it's so tricky. It's not easy on young college players in this environment to be as disciplined as they are. It's a testament to them. Suzuki trying to thread that needle once more, looking for the run of Colin Thomas. Scrapping is Brighton. Ben Alcazar gets it through the legs and back to the goalkeeper.
This is fantastic from Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Look at the confidence, the patience.
Suzuki. Turning it over and winning it back is Philip Mayaka. Mayaka once more. McNeil. Quinn McNeil. Mayaka. McCurley into the game, the senior, for Omar Hernandez. Ben Alcazar. A lot asking Oscar Sears there to win possession as Clemson go in search of a goal to start the comeback. Quinn McNeil, teasing delivery, a fluffed clearance by Forbes, nearly an opportunity for Clemson.
Wake Forest has 3 freshmen and 1 sophomore in the back right now. And the 2 6s in front of them are 2 sophomores. Very young team, very confident on the ball.
You're good enough, you're old enough, Manny. Age is only a number.
You're right about that.
Oscar Sears brought into the game wearing number 10 for Wake Forest, a freshman from Stockholm, Sweden. Yet to start this season. A combined 11 goals and 13 assists playing with IFK Stocksund under-19s and men's team last year. So keep an eye on him, looking to impress Bobby Muse.
I think Clemson in the last 20 minutes is in their DNA to fight. They're gonna fight. They're gonna go for this. They're gonna try to get a point. And they have the skill to do it, so.
It's composed play by David Rona to keep possession of the ball for Wake Forest. Garrison Tubbs. Calvin Harris. Oh, it's beautiful football. Excellent play from Wake Forest. Another excellent delivery too. It's still there for Wake Forest. Cleared off the line nearly.
What a clear by Justin Malou.
Justin Malou does enough to help out his goalkeeper, George Marks. But Wake Forest just carving Clemson apart here, using the flanks, and this was a delightful ball. Just ahead of everybody, kept in play.
Look at Justin Malou. What an effort by him.
Yeah.
Wake Forest is expressing themselves right now. Moving the ball around. Exactly what you want to see from your side if you're Bobby Muse.
We've got another big game coming your way here after this game. 8 o'clock Eastern, kickoff from Charlottesville, Virginia. Syracuse on the road, looking to take down George Gelnevach and his Cavaliers. Do join us. Escribano under pressure, winning a free kick. What do Clemson need to do to really make a fight of this and create some opportunities here in the last 17 minutes?
I believe they have to go back to the basics. I think they have to put pressure on a very young backline. Like I said, there is 3 freshmen, 1 sophomore. I think if you put a little pressure on them with your front 3, I think you can create some turnovers and go straight to goal.
Pushing it down the line, Sears. Oh, lovely little step over. And quite the ball in as well. Under duress. Clemson do brilliantly to clear their lines. And there is Charlie Asensio under such pressure, managing to hold Wake Forest attacker off.
He's a player that doesn't jump the eye. When you look at that, when you look at him, not the biggest one, not the fastest one, but he's a very smart defender.
But those are some of the players that tend to have the longest careers. Soccer IQ of Asensio. And certainly when you speak to Mike Noonan, the player that comes to mind for him, Jeff Laurentowicz, who he coached at Brown. Noonan singing the praise of Jeff Laurentowicz, 37 years young now. Still starring in Major League Soccer for Atlanta United. 2-time MLS Cup winner. 93rd player selected in the draft back in 2005. That's saying something.
Mike Noonan also told us he only played 20 minutes in his first year as a professional. And now he's he's 3rd on the list, 4th on the list.
Yep.
Most minutes played.
Noonan has a lot of time for Jeff Laurentowicz, who recently had a Zoom call with some of the players.
Over the summer.
Mayaka, wide for Asensio. Is there a late show here from Clemson?
They gotta find a way to cross this ball into the box.
McNeil, he delivers. Good ball as well. Oh, so close. Inside the area, flirting, was Luis Felipe Fernandez Salvador.
Good ball by Quinn McNeil. Good effort there. I think they absolutely have to start putting balls in the box.
Quinn McNeil's been very involved since coming back in. Asensio now.
This middle three for Clemson is the way they started against UNC, with Quinn McNeil, Phil Mayaka, and Luis Felipe Fernandez Salvador.
McNeil lets rip from distance, blocked away. That did look to be on target.
It's gonna be a late push by Clemson here.
Really good contact from McNeil. Malou stepping forward. Lovely turn. Brought to ground. No free kick, says the referee, Mike Stutt. Lots of aggression and pace to Clemson's game now. Mayaka glides this one across, inviting Asensio. Take a wide position. Grayson Barber. Fernandez Salvador. The ball just sticking to his foot. Goes to ground, waved away.
Clemson showing so urgency here late. I think this is the right attitude. Try to get Grayson Barber a little more involved.
Now Wake Forest just can't keep the ball. 12 minutes to play in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This, the final regular season match of the season for Clemson.
This is the kind of game that prepare you for the ACC tournament. Whether you're in the lead or whether you're down and your season is on the line. You go for it or you try to defend with a very young team, but you try to do it in a veteran way.
Next up for Wake Forest, the trip to Raleigh, North Carolina to take on NC State. That match next Saturday. You can see Camardi Smith just urging his team a little bit forward. Keep that press going, win it back. Just under 12 to play, and they need to get 2 goals.
You can tell that Clemson has played 3 games in the last 7 days, and that Wake Forest had a 10-day rest in between games.
And travel as well.
And travel, that's about a 5-hour trip.
Yeah. It's not easy. And credit to the coaching staffs, the players, everyone involved. From the simple things, like video sessions outside. It's the small things that we may not notice that these programs are doing. Taking all the vigilant steps in order to remain safe and continue to play.
Mike Noonan spoke very highly of the Clemson leadership. He told us how the whole athletic administration is trying to do everything right. The players are leaving the temptations behind and doing the right things. Can you imagine how hard it is to be a college student athlete?
No.
Being on campus.
But Mike Noonan also said they all want to go pro. So they all understand the goal that's in sight at the end of the day, and these are the sacrifices they have to make for these few months.
He also mentioned about an experienced group. He doesn't have a lot of seniors.
A wild swipe there from Suzuki, and gets away with it.
He only have 1 or 2 seniors in the lineup, but he has an experienced group. A group that struggled in 2018. Then in 2019, they were top 5, top 10 in the country. And again this year, top 5. I think it's a lot of credit to Mike Noonan.
Look at the pace of Calvin Harris just racing away. Charlie Asensio does well to get back, and Asensio brings down Calvin Harris.
I like this player. So here we have our top 5 United Soccer Coaches poll. The Pittsburgh Panthers, Wake Forest, Clemson, Kentucky, and North Carolina. Look at that, 4 ACC teams in the top 5. Calvin Harris has been delightful tonight, isn't it?
Especially leading in this game with Clemson chasing. He's been that release, that pace further forward, as has Machop Chol earlier on in the game, creating that goal for Harris. 2 goals for Harris in as many games, coming from very different circumstances. One, a tap in on the line. The other, an unbelievable hit. Hits off the underside of the bar. And the Wake Forest social media account tagging SportsCenter Top 10, looking for that to make it.
I love these social media account managers. They do everything to get their guys in SportsCenter Top 10.
Asensio wins the header, kept in play. Opportunity now. Calvin Harris has the pace, keeps possession as well. Still Harris deflected. Scrambling was George Marks in goal. Clemson survived the latest attack, and Philip Mayaka sprays it to the right-hand side. A searching pass down the flank, and a free kick goes to Wake Forest. 8 minutes to play in Winston-Salem.
You have to think that Clemson is really missing Tanner Dietrich, Robbie Robinson, and Malik Mbaye. 3 leaders from last year's team. And that's something we spoke with Mike Noonan as well when he said that he had leaders on the field at all times, and this year they are developing leaders. 2 of those playing in the MLS, 1 of them playing in the USL Championship.
Well, these are 2 programs that always do develop leaders, going all the way back, whether it be Michael Parkhurst, whether it be someone like Jack Harrison, who you see now performing brilliantly for
Mark
Leeds
McKenzie.
United under Bielsa. Yeah, Mark McKenzie as well.
Joey Dosart now starting for Orlando City.
Yes. Made his first start against Atlanta United recently in Major League Soccer play.
He's been fantastic as well for them.
For Clemson, Robbie Robinson. For Inter Miami, and Diego Alonso.
What a player.
And speaking to Mike Noonan about him, he just said he has all the attributes, physical attributes. And the thing I've noticed about him the most is he is a very considerate striker. Makes selfless runs, very intelligent player.
I compare him a little bit to Jordan Morris.
Yeah.
A little more flavor to the game, but he has that athletic ability.
What positives has Mike Noonan seen this evening from his team?
I think the defense has stayed compact. The goalkeeper has played an okay game. And also I think the urgency to win this game, again, I can't emphasize enough how hard it is to play 3 ACC games in 7 days.
Yeah.
I think he saw Callum Johnson can play 60 minutes for this team. He hasn't started much for this program. You see a guy like Fontana starting for the first time as a right back. You also see Isaiah Reed, and they did well the first 20 minutes without their 2 best players.
And I think what you point out with Callum Johnson is he's a new player, but he's a player that, as we mentioned earlier, the unsung hero in many ways in a team, as Wake Forest called offside. And if he's going to play as that 6 and protect a little bit more, you can have your Fernandez Salvador pushing a little bit further forward.
I think that's a great point.
As well.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think Felipe Fernandez Salvador is a different player. I think you have to get him in places around the box, maybe as a 10 more so. But this program has a bright future. They're going to go to the ACC tournament, and they're going to be just fine. I look forward to seeing these two teams fighting for the championship.
Here is your player here, the one you've highlighted, Fernandez Salvador.
I love Fernandez Salvador for sure.
I can't tell.
I just like the chickeness, you know?
Scrapping is Barber. Can they create an opportunity here? Kobe Carr into the game for Calvin Harris.
Kobe Carr is a great player, coming back from injury. Had about 20 minutes against Duke. Was fantastic on that right-hand side. I think he's a player that once he's healthy, he will find himself playing game in and game out on Kobe Carr.
Jake Swallen back in as well for Wake Forest in place of David Rona. Free kick Clemson. Final 5 minutes of the match. We've seen late drama between these two teams before. Do not go anywhere. Bright out wide.
Wake Forest has done a great job on Grayson Barber tonight, isn't it?
Excellently played to keep the move going there from Oscar Agron. The delivery is a really good one. Another inviting cross. Taken off the foot of Mayaka, though. And the shot, under pressure, goes wide. Goal kick, Wake Forest. Just a sandwich, inviting someone to run onto it and head it home, or dunk it from that range.
It's a great hold by Mayaka here.
And that's unlucky. The challenge just as James Brighton was ready to hit.
That's what we were talking about. If you put the ball in the box, Wake Forest struggle at times defending the box.
Wonderful move.
It's a great play.
Chance now for Johnson. Sublime tackle though. Tracking back. Well-timed challenge.
Great one-time pass by the midfielder.
Still there for Clemson. Barber. Can they work an opening? Mayaka. Asensio tempted to shoot. Instead he crosses. Really good delivery. And that may have been the chance with 3 minutes to go. A glorious opportunity, an opening for Luis Felipe Fernandez Salvador.
That's a great ball by Charlie Asensio. Look at this ball. Your number 8 getting on the box. Fernandez Salvador. That's a great play. You love to see that. You want to see more of that here in the last 2 minutes.
You'd feel with the time remaining, if that goes in, we were set for a frantic ending. We are already. 2 goals in college soccer is nothing. And this now one for Holcomb to chase.
Wake Forest has kept everything in front of them, innit? The defense, I feel like the back four has been fantastic on keeping everything in front of them and not allowing Clemson to have space to counterattack or do anything magical around the box.
Oscar Agron taking the space. Push wide for Johnson. Barber. Cut off. Wins it back. He's an energizer bunny. Grayson Barber. Beautiful 1-2. Oh, what a move this is from Clemson. Asensio. Cross blocked. Charlie Asensio in once more.
You have to be sure that sequence will be shown tomorrow on film for the Clemson coaches.
Incredible movement from Clemson. They're trying to fight their way back and doing so with quality soccer. And unfortunately for Callum Johnson, he cannot keep his shot down. That may have been one of the moves of the game right there.
Yeah, you can see Grayson Barber, who was our player to watch today, combining with my guy, Felipe Fernandez, and then just getting the ball out wide to Charlie Asensio. I think that was great sequence, something that you can look forward to having more of.
The shaggy-haired Grayson Barber, a joy to watch.
Something to point out tonight, how deep is Wake Forest bench? They started with number 4, Rula, as a left back, and then they went with Jalaine Forbes, and they didn't drop a bit.
Beautiful skill from Smith. Brighton can't keep possession. Now these valuable seconds start to wind down as Wake Forest dump it long. Everyone behind the ball as Oscar Agron can start one final attack, but time has run out for Clemson. Mike Noonan's men on the road, a grueling schedule. They'll take lots of positives from this game. But on the evening, it's Wake Forest, the second-ranked team in the nation, that reigns supreme. Clemson took the opening game between these two at their home ground. And here, at Spry Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, it's Bobby Muse and Wake Forest Deacon Demons that take the big victory, and they deserve it.
They absolutely do. They deserve this victory. They were really good in all facets of the game. The defense was